This is a quick review of 22W12A. Now this is a new series that I may be doing. Just leave a comment and like the video if you actually would like more of these. Anyways, let's get into the snapshot. Now starting off with the 22WA coming out, Swift Sneak is now on the leggings. Yes, the Swift Sneak enchantment was added and now it is currently on the leggings. And it is actually faster than it was previously. So if we grab leggings and put Swift Sneak 3 on it, as you can see, we will go faster while sneaking with the leggings. And it can no longer be applied on the boots. So as you can see, with Swift Sneak we will be the fastest, over 75% faster than current walking speed. So if I actually walk normally, as you can see, I am pretty fast. But if I actually go shifting, as you can see, I am faster than even normally walking, which is pretty insane. And if I obviously were to sprint, I am basically as fast as me sprinting, which I find is completely insane. But obviously it is not faster than sprinting and jumping, but by doing this you'll be obviously safe from the Warden and you can maneuver pretty fast, which is an insane update, especially now that it's on the leggings. We get once again a new enchantment to the leggings, and also we get to keep our mobility. So if you wanted soul speed and depth strider still on your boots, you can now have that, which is pretty insane. Now on to the next thing, which is actually chest boats. Chest boats were now added. They were showcased within the swamp update. Obviously that the people did not vote for, they voted for the goats instead, but we're now receiving it. So as you can see, all you're going to need to craft them is a boat and a chest, and it can be whichever variation of boat that you want. Now as you can see, there is a new mangrove boat and a chest on top of it. And this is pretty cool. It can only seat one person considering there's a chest on the back, and you can maneuver pretty quickly with this. And it's just a pretty useful thing to have when going on ocean adventures. Now to access the boat, all you're going to need to do is hold shift and then right click. And as you can see, we can access the boat with the chest, which has the normal chest capacity. And then if you were to grab something like an axe and then go into survival mode and pick it up, you can actually just simply grab it by destroying it. As you can see, it is just a chest boat. It does not separate, similar to how the minecart does it, where the minecart actually separates. So this is very useful for actually bringing it along on trips if you actually need to quickly break it and maneuver it onto the other side of the ocean, which I feel like is a very cool and useful addition into Minecraft. And if you're in the middle of the ocean wondering how you want to access your chest, all you're going to need to do is stand on top of the boat, then shift, and then right click the chest, which is pretty simple, and you do not need a piece of land to do it since you can simply walk onto the boat. But now moving on to the main thing of this update, which is the Warden. Now the Warden was added into the official snapshots. It is no longer just in the pre-snapshots. And I'm here to show you a bunch of tips and tricks that come along with the new Warden. Now the Warden has actually changed some stuff within here, similar to how the other stuff was changed as well. Now the Warden has many things. Now first of all, how does the Warden actually spawn? The Warden will spawn within the deep dark, and also it can spawn above ground currently, and it will spawn in ancient cities as well. Now the Warden will spawn when a skulk creature actually activates 3 times. So you kind of get a 3-strike system. After your 3rd activation, it will just spawn a new one. And then it will also despawn after 60 seconds of it not hearing any vibrations, which basically means any movements, just like so. So if I were to move around, then it will obviously reset the 60-second timer for it to disappear. So you're gonna have to be ready on the hideout if you want to actually wait for it to disappear. But obviously it's very unlikely for that to happen. Then going on, the Warden can actually not disappear if you actually use a name tag. So if you were to put a name tag on him, just like so, you can keep him around forever. Now obviously if you want to troll your friends, bring him up to like the top of the world or something like that, you can just simply do it and not have him despawn by simply putting a name tag on him. Now that is obviously very useful if you want to keep him. The next thing is actually just protection 4. This is just in general, I'd recommend having protection 4. Most notably, you either have diamonds or netherite with protection 4, considering he can take you down to 3.5 hearts in one hit. So he'll be doing a lot of damage. It's 6 to 6.5 hearts, which is insane. But if you have protection 4, that will decrease it significantly. So please bring protection 4 with you when actually fighting this warden, or you may just die to him. And lastly, the last main trick with the warden is if you actually have a parrot that is obviously tamed, it will actually make the sounds of the warden, which I find is just a cool little thing that you can now do. And as you can see, if we just have him around a little bit, we can hear him imitate the warden. And obviously the warden will actually kill anything it sees, and it may kill your parrot if you bring it down with him. But this may be useful for actually trying to find the deep dark biome, as the parrot can signal when a warden is nearby if you haven't heard it. Which just basically makes it useful, or when you're trying to hide out from the warden if you want to know if he's still nearby you, the parrot will imitate its sounds, which is just a pretty cool thing. But obviously the parrot might die in this process, which is very concerning. Now, the last thing that was mainly added within this update is actually a new adjustment slider, which if you go to escape, then options, then accessibility settings, you can see the new darkness pulsing. Now it controls how much the darkness effect pulses with a warden or a skulk shrieker when it gives it to you. So if I were to give myself the new darkness effect, I will actually just start the screen will actually pulse. As you can see, it will go into lighter and then a more darker tone throughout the period of time. As you can see, it's kind of noticeable just like so, but it is obviously more noticeable when something like the warden gives it to you. So if I were to go into just like survival mode, the warden will be much more noticeable when it does this to me. And as you can see, it is pretty cool. But obviously, I can change this with the slider if I don't want it to pulse so much, if that obviously affects your eyes or something like that. So if I wanted to change it to none, it will actually not pulse at all, but still give you this kind of darkness effect. Now, it will be mainly similar to the blindness effect, as it doesn't really pulse across your screen, but it's still pretty cool, covering most of it. It just changes that it doesn't darken when it actually pulses, or supposed to be pulsing, since you don't have it anymore. But obviously you can adjust this to your liking. If you don't want it to pulse as much, you can turn it to like 28%, or whatever percent that you feel like is okay for you. Which I feel like is pretty cool, especially if people do not actually like it pulsing across their screen a whole ton. But anyways, that's the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more of the series and me to cover more of these snapshots, leave a comment down below and leave a like and subscribe. And I'll make sure to make this a new playlist or a new series. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.